What is the best New Balance 500 sneaker? Today I have with me the New Balance 515, 530, and 574. In this video, I'm rating each sneaker out of 10 based on its quality, its comfort, and overall value. At the end of this video, I'm gonna tally up all the scores and give you guys what I think is the best New Balance 500 sneaker in the market today. So keep watching. Let's start off with the 515. The 515 was released in 2014, making this one of New Balance's newest models, but still keeping that vintage 90s silhouette that we all love. Let's see if this sneaker is any good.
The 515 V3 retails for $70. This is the workwear white colorway, and I got this in a size 9. Starting with the material, the upper is made mostly of synthetic suede and textile mesh. The sneaker weighs in at 280 grams, making this the second lightest sneaker out of all three. Taking a look at the toe of the shoe, you have a suede mudguard. The cut of the mudguard is pretty wild. It has this wavy pattern similar to what you see on the 997 Sport. At the top, you have a textile fabric that serves as the base layer of the whole shoe. The textile fabric is very flexible. You can feel that there's zero rigidity. Moving up, you have a synthetic suede eye stay. The laces are standard flat laces. The entire tongue is made with the same textile fabric. The New Balance 515 patch is sewn on the tip, and the tongue is very nicely padded. Moving on to the side of the shoe, unlike most New Balance sneakers, there's no quarter panel. You have mostly a textile upper. The end logo is made of plastic and is glued on. For the midsole, this is an EVA midsole. EVA does a great job at dispersing your weight evenly to help provide more stability. It's also lightweight, flexible, and cushions the foot with every step. Moving on to the heel, you have a plastic heel stabilizer that helps prevent heel pain and slippage when you're walking. Moving up, you have more of that synthetic suede panel. Above that, you have a white synthetic leather panel with the New Balance logo wrapping around the heel counter. Moving to the inside of the shoe, the lining on the ankle doesn't feel very soft, and the ankle cushioning is very average. Taking a look at the insole, this is a comfort insert insole. The thickness of this insole measures to 3.68 millimeters, making this the thinnest insole out of all three sneakers. Pressing on it, the insole feels a bit stiff. Moving to the outsole of the shoe, this is made entirely of rubber, making this extra grippy. It has a lug pattern that gives the shoe better traction. So out of 10, what would I rate the quality of the sneaker? I'll give it a 7. The shoe is constructed well, but the textile fabric feels like it will rip apart easily. It has no rigidity and doesn't feel like it will stand the test of time. The leather at the heel also feels very cheap, almost like plastic. Quality material does feel like it will skimp for the shoe. Now let's take a look on feet. The 515 fits true to size, but the shoe does fit a little wide. The flexibility of the mesh fabric really gives you a lot of room, especially if you have wide feet. The edge of the toe box is somewhat squared off, so your feet will look a little stubby. The white end logo really stands out and does a great job at matching the outsole and heel counter. For the comfort, the textile fabric feels great. It's flexible, so there's zero stiffness in the fabric, making the shoe extremely maneuverable and a great option if you're on the move a lot. Another plus side is the lightness of the 515. The padding around the sneaker is nothing special. The insole feels a bit hard. You don't really feel that cushion that it provides. Overall, the 515 just feels like an average pair of shoe, which is a little disappointing. Now time to give the sneaker a rating. For the comfort, I'll give it a 7. For the value of the sneaker, I'll also give it a 7. At $70, it's not the most expensive sneaker, but doesn't really offer anything special to the table. It has the EVA midsole, but almost every athletic sneaker has it too. The design is very minimalistic, which is a plus for some people, but at the end of the day, this is a very average shoe, both aesthetically and quality. That brings the total score for the 515, 21 out of 30. Let's see if the next sneaker is any better.
Next up, we have the 530. New Balance continues to surprise us with their bringbacks. The 530 was originally released in 1992 and is one of New Balance's most popular designs. Let's see if this sneaker is still any good.
The 530 Luxe Suede retails for $54. This is in a Bordeaux beige colorway, and I got this in a size 8. Starting with the material, the upper is made entirely of 100% synthetic suede, which gives off that vintage 90s look. The sneaker weighs in at 364 grams, making this the heaviest out of all three. Taking a look at the toe of the shoe, the mudguard is your standard circular shape, no wavy patterns this time. Moving up, you have a perforated suede toe box. There's a fabric lining underneath the perforated toe for added comfort. Moving up, you have your standard flat shoelaces. For the tongue, the bottom half is made from that same mesh as the toe box, and the top half has an extra layer of suede for more durability, since this is a high contact area. Unlike other New Balance sneakers, the logo is sewn directly on the tongue rather than a patch. Taking a look at the side of the shoe, there's a bunch of panels layered on top of each other. At the bottom, you have the mudguard that extends all the way to the middle of the shoe. The quarter panel has the end engraved on it. The eyelets have an extra plastic reinforcement. Moving down to the midsole, you have a white foam in the forefoot, and as you move back, you have the end cap midsole, which provides durability and support. 530 end cap is also stitched on the back of the shoe. Moving to the heel of the shoe, you have New Balance logo on the midsole. Moving up, you got a couple different panels coming together. At the top, there's a 3M reflective strip. Moving to the insole, the shoe is labeled SL1 Fit. SL stands for standard last. A last is a system used for people with different types of feet, such as wide and irregular sizes. In this case, this shoe is made for running and walking, and it fits standard feet shape. The ankle support is cushioned, but it does feel a bit stiff and the lining feels very tough. Definitely not as comfortable as other New Balance sneakers. The insole is not your standard flat footbed. It's flat at the front foot, but at the back the sides curve up to follow the curvature of your feet. At the back of the insole there's a bunch of circular ribbing to help reduce pressures at sensitive areas of the feet. The thickness of the insole measures 3.96 millimeters, which makes this the thickest insole out of all three. Taking a look at the bottom of the shoe, this is a completely rubber bottom. This is their XAR 1000 outsole, which provides very good traction, so it'd be great in a more terrain environment. So out of 10, what would I rate the quality of the sneaker? I'll give it a 6. The texture of the synthetic suede upper feels very mediocre. The inside lining in the shoe feels rough. There's a lot to be desired from the 530. Now let's take a look on feet. The 530 fits true to size, but it does fit a bit more narrow than the 515. Because of the suede upper, it doesn't feel as breathable as a mesh or textile upper. The all Bordeaux colored upper hides any dimensioning from the shoe. What I mean by that is you can't really see any of the panels coming together or the textures of the material, and you can barely tell that these are New Balance sneakers because the logo is so faint. For the comfort, the padding around the ankle is surprisingly comfortable, better than the 515. However, the inside lining is not very comfortable. It feels a bit rough around your ankles. The shoe has a bit of stiffness, definitely will take a couple of wears before it break in. The shoe also doesn't feel very maneuverable, and I don't recommend jogging in an all suede upper. For the insole, you don't really feel that cushion. Overall, the comfort is comparable to any other sneaker on the market. Now time to give the sneaker a rating. For the comfort, I'll give it a 6. For the value of the sneaker, I'll give it an 8. At $54, the sneaker is cheap for a New Balance. The sneaker is well constructed with an end cap midsole and an all rubber outsole. This is a very average shoe, but for $54, I think that's a fair price. That brings a total score for the 515, 20 out of 30, making this the lowest rated sneaker so far. Let's see if the next sneaker is any better.
Just one quick message before we continue on this video. If you find this video helpful so far, don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps out small content creators like myself and really encourages me to keep putting out videos like this. So don't forget to like, subscribe. Now let's get back to the video. And last but not least, we have the 574. Inspired by the popular 576, New Balance did a complete cost-cutting overhaul, making the 574 a sneaker for the cost-conscious consumer. Along with the Air Force Ones, the Converse Chuck Taylor All-Stars, the 574 is an all-time classic and continues to be New Balance's best seller. Let's see what the hype is all about.
The 574 retails for $80. This is in the Castle Rock Royal Blue colorway, and I got this in size 9. Starting with the material, the upper is made from suede, leather, and Tencel Lyocell textile. Tencel Lyocell is a man-made synthetic fiber unlike cotton. It's better for the environment because it requires less energy and water than cotton, and it's also biodegradable. Because of its silk-like texture, Tencel is a very soft fabric. The sneaker weighs in at 298 grams, putting this right in the middle of the three. Taking a look at the toe of the shoe, this is a suede mudguard. It has a bit of a wavy shape, but not too crazy like what we saw from the 515. Above that, you have the Tencel Lyocell textile that feels extremely soft. There's a layer of padding underneath the toe that adds to the comfort. Above that, you have regular flat white laces. For the tongue, this is made completely from Tencel Lyocell textile. At the top, you have the synthetic leather New Balance 574 patch. Now moving to the side of the shoe, it's covered mostly of suede panels except the leather end logo stitched on the quarter panel. Moving to the midsole, you have the end cap midsole. End cap is made of a soft cushioning EVA with a tough polyurethane rim for more support and durability. Over time, the EVA cushion will mold to the shape of your feet. Taking a look at the heel, you have this plastic heel stabilizer that helps prevent heel pain and slippage when you're walking. Moving up, you have more of that suede panel. Now let's take a look at the inside of the shoe. Because of the Tencel Lyocell fabric, the ankle lining is ridiculously soft, by far the softest out of all New Balance shoes I've ever owned. The ankles are very lightly cushioned, nothing too crazy here. The shoe features a green foam insole with a white lining at the top. The thickness of the insole measures to 3.71 millimeters, making this the thinnest insole out of all three. Even though this is very thin, the insole cushion is very soft. Moving to the outsole of the shoe, this is made entirely of rubber, making this extra grippy. It has a lug pattern that gives this shoe an even better traction. So out of 10, what would I rate the quality of this sneaker? I'll give it a 9. This sneaker is very well made with good quality material and no construction flaws. It has a lot of great features that makes this sneaker special. Now let's take a look on feet. The 574 fits true to size. The toe box has a rounded shape. First impression, the height of the mudguard is a little too tall for my liking, or maybe I'm just used to Jordan 1s. The color do come nicely together with the bright blue end logo popping out. The brown and gray colors go well together with the gum color soles. That tapered V shape at the back of the foot makes this shoe look more slimming. For the comfort, this is where the 574 took me by surprise. The insole and cushioning around the ankle is not bad, definitely not the best though, but the feature that elevates the comfort of the 574s is the Tencel Lyocell lining in the ankles and tongue. Let me tell you, this fabric is so soft and smooth, it feels amazing against your feet. Another huge plus is the foam padding at the top of the toe box. Every step you take, that foam padding presses against your foot and it feels so amazing. Definitely a great shoe for someone who's on their feet all day. Now time to give the sneaker a rating. For the comfort, I'll give it a 10. For the value of the sneaker, I'll give it a 9. At $80, I think that's a very fair price. This shoe is well put together with high quality material. The 574 is an all-time classic. With its insane comfort, style, and construction, I can see why this sneaker has been New Balance's bestseller for so long. That brings the total score for the New Balance 574, 28 out of 30. To summarize, this is a ranking of the New Balance sneakers from heaviest to lightest. Tying up the final scores is how I rank the 6 sneakers, with 574 at the top of my list and 530 at the very bottom.
And that's it for this week's video. Let me know in the comments below what items I should review next. I do read every single one of your comments, so leave your suggestions below. That's it for this week's video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.